Okay, so this has been a long time coming. We're finally able to start working on putting on the hood, the fenders, and the bumper. So I was able to pick these up for a pretty good price. They're not perfect, but they're better than what I had. So these are going to be the new front portion for the CB7. So now I'm just putting everything on. Probably not going to run these, at least for now. Haven't made my mind if I really like them or not. So taking the whole front off, take the fenders off because this one is very wavy. Doesn't line up here. Fenders is jacked. Just put that one on. And this one is not terrible, but it has a little dent there, but it's not terrible. It's not too crazy. But I'm just gonna switch both, keep this one as a backup, and if I do decide to keep this, then I'll figure out what I'm gonna do next. So we took off the fender, get ready to put on the new one. And remember that I didn't completely do the wire tuck on this side, and I have to clean this little dirt spot, so I'm gonna have to, do a quick spray paint on that one. Right here, same thing. I decided to just do the wire tuck, so I'm cleaning this up. These are for the ABS pump system, so I'm gonna cut these out. So right now I'm going back into the cabin of the vehicle to more or less see what the wiring looks like in here, so I can start removing some stuff out of the way. Yep, it's a rat nest, but now's my chance to clean up most of the stuff right now before I start putting everything together and start putting the seats and start putting this car back together. So now we're inside the car. I'm gonna take the dashboard out, pull the fuse box down, and see if I can pull any of these ABS plugs from the actual fuse box, just to try to clean up everything a little bit. So it's a little bit more tedious than just cutting all the wires, but I want to take everything out from the source. And then worst come to worst, if I have to rerun some wires, I have some new lines I could use that's actually color coded. So that escalated relatively fast. So now we're starting to take out the whole harness. Man, I don't know what just happened, but yeah. So now I'm taking the harness out for the passenger side. We're gonna take out all the lines for the ABS. This is everything for the ABS in the rear, for the trunk, all the way up. So now I'm working on slowly taking out all the ABS lines, and then start on that jumble up there. Yeah. So we started doing the wiring on it. This whole pig's mess right here. Took the whole dash out. We finally have it up and running, so we're just taking out a whole bunch of wiring. All this came out. This is all for the ABS in the rear. Now we're just working on the actual fuse box section. So all the ABS wires came out of there, so now I can clean those up. Those are just for the headlights and things in the front. So just want to make sure everything was working fine, because now I'm trying to take out these plugs. So these plugs I have to check to make sure there's no power going to them, and then I can start cutting these and taking them out of the loom. Man, talk about going down a rabbit's nest for this bad boy. So starting to reroute the wires. That's all for the body harness, the fuel pump, the door sensors. Yeah, I still got to figure out this whole spaghetti mess right here, but that's tomorrow, because Mother Nature has changed her mind. Is a whole lot of lightning going on, thunder, but this cleaned up a lot, took out all the ABS sensors. So now I just gotta basically tie this up and loom this up tomorrow, and get some riv nuts, and like I said, do the spray paint over here to convert this rust out. But the best part about it is the bumper is on. Does look pretty decent, look pretty tucked. So that's one thing I am very pleased with. So let me start cleaning up. So this is what we accomplished yesterday. This is all the ABS harness that went into the trunk section, which is over here. There's still this came out also. That last harness was the one for the ABS pump. So it's looking a little cleaner. So this is just the main headlight harness on this side. Still gotta clean up a few more areas. So yes, that is what happened in here. I'm still trying to de-pin these connectors to get out everything I can. I just taped this up because yesterday I did want to start the car to make sure everything was running before I start pulling more plugs. This is the crossover harness that connects to the seat belt, the interior lights. These are the ones for this little loom. This one that goes into the actual door. So this is for the window motors, the lights, and a few other things. These are the only three that goes to the back for the fuel pump setup, and that green one that was cut, that's the one that goes to the door switch. So yeah, it is a hot mess of some other words I can't say, but yeah, it's coming together. So I'm sure you probably see from my videos, I'm not always the best at being very in-depth. I try, but it not always comes out. So two channels that I did watch before I started this madness was Underfunded Garage, and I think it's JP Built. So they both did very in-depth review of how to do the wire tuck for this portion. They all took out the AC box and everything. I'm not going that far because I do live in New York, so I will need at least the heater box. So the AC is actually gutted, but I still need it so the air could flow through. Unless someone has a DX box that they could, you know, let me have or sell for a reasonable price. But for right now, those are the two channels. I'll link them down in the description below. They're very good to get good breakdowns of everything that I'm doing right now. So that's, if you really need more information on how to do the swap, those are two channels I do recommend checking out. Just so y'all know, these are the module for the airbag detection, I believe. I did not take those out. I left those in because if you do it, it'll be a big hole in the firewall. So I just left those. There's one there and there's one on the driver's side. I left those in place. This is the main outlet. I forgot what that was for, to be honest to you, but yeah, no, I'm no longer using that. Just gotta clean up these wires and then go from there. Most likely I'm gonna take this out next just to see what wire this is for, because I don't remember. Okay, so this is what we talked about yesterday, the rust areas. This is what I purchased. They should convert these over so it's not too bad. So basically this way you could paint over it without it causing too much rust. So when you can't find a de-pin tool that works, you make one. This is just a small little Allen key that I had, and I just grind it down so now it fits. I'm not sure what it plays on camera, but yeah, that's what I'm working with right now. So I'm not sure how well this is gonna come out. So basically what you do is you put a flathead screwdriver in this to pop it up. Normally it look like this, so just basically pop it up like this, and then you want to come right here and you see that little gray tab right there that's holding the metal slip in. You push that down and that should give you enough wiggle room so you can pull out the strand. So I'm gonna try to show you using my little makeshift tool. So there it is, it's in. Now I just got to pull it out. So it's a lot easier than spending all that money for a Honda certified tool, and honestly this thing's working pretty damn well. Oh, there you go. So there you go. Oh, I'll take this one out in the corner and then that's it. So I just keep going down the rabbit hole. So this is what I'm doing right now. So as you can see, this is the harness for the headlights that goes through. I am basically going through this whole loom for the fuse box, de-pinning every single wire and try to get it separate like this. This is one of the fuse, this is one of the harness that goes in the fuse box. It was all entangled in, so basically I separated every single pin and basically pull it out the harness. So I'm gonna basically loom everything up separately. So for instance, this one is all mixed up in here, you can't really get it out. I'm going to be de-pinning all the connectors, feeding it through this loom, getting everything separate just like how it is on this, So it's going to be basically a separate strand on this side that's outside the main harness. So this way I could just basically tape it together like this, and then I'll go back in and I'll wrap everything up. So this will be the easiest way for me to clean up this little spaghetti nest right here. It's a little bit time consuming, but I'm hoping the end result will be worth it. Granted, I don't plan to go down to the engine harness, so everything up to this point will still remain. I'm just trying to separate them here, so this way I could just basically tie them up and branch them off so it could look a little bit decent. So just a simple example of what I'm doing. This is one I just took out of this connector. I'm doing them one by one so I don't lose track of where everything goes. So as you can see, it's still wrapped up in here, so I'm basically feeding it through the harness so I can find it and pull it out and have it be separate. It's very time consuming, but I didn't want to cut the harness, so I'm like, this is the next best thing that came to my mind. So basically it feeds back to this one. This is like a junction block. It feeds back to this, and now it will be separate. So now I can reconnect it to this wire to this one, and it'll be separate out here because I'm taking these red wires out also. So for anybody's crazy enough to follow, this is the main plugs that goes inside the fuse box. So in order to take this out, there's that white clip in the back, which will be this. It's kind of greasy, but you have to basically pull that whole clip out in order to take the pin out. Everything else you just basically pop up the opening like that from the back, but that one you actually have to physically remove the whole white section. Alright, so after a whole bunch of hours of playing with this thing, this is just stuff I gotta clean up. This is the only harness that's left. This is the main one that goes in the fuse box. So I'm gonna loom it up. Once I put the dashboard in, I'll see how much room I have to mount this. The fuse box is gonna be inside the glove box or inside where the airbag used to be, since this is a SC dash. So once I have that done, all of this at the bottom is all cleaned up. I just gotta go, tighten everything up, and then start working my way back here. But yeah, so perfect timing. Got this finished up, but I put a dash in, got me some ice cream cake. So yeah, living a dream right now, guys. Living the dream. This is what happens when you have to work by yourself. You gotta put a dash in all alone. You can tell I've done it a few times, but yeah, more or less the dash is in. I'm gonna clean everything up now. So I'm gonna clean everything up now, plug everything in, and try to start the car. If that works, then at least I know all the wiring is in the right location, and I just gotta clean everything up. So I'm probably gonna wrap this up for today, but that's it. This is where the fuse box will be, up here and out of the way. So it's basically, it just looks stock, which is how I wanted it, because all that was basically there before. That's factory. I'm just gonna move this out of the way, clean everything up. So now when you put your feet down here, you won't be touching any wires. Everything's out of the way, and it just looks factory. And the main reason is all the fuse box harnesses up here, and it'll be out of the way. So I'm very happy with the way things turned out so far. So tomorrow I'm just gonna clean this up, loam this, and then just put everything back in where it should be, and then that should be it for this project.